Welcome to part 2 of my challenge run. I'm Freestyle. Thank you so much for joining me. And I still am a little bit sick, so just a little bit nasally, really. Bear with me as I go through rounds 3 and 4 of the Sunday challenge. Round 3, not a lot of great magic. There's a lot of bad magic on my side of the field, as you'll see. Truly embarrassing, but round 4, I think, is definitely interesting, definitely worth going through. So let's get through both these here. We get paired against our Italian friend. It's Krilla Piety from episode 5 of the Pauper Players podcast, the Italian unicorn himself. He's going to be on Tron. We're going to keep this hand, and we're going to immediately make the categorical mistake that I talked about earlier. I saw my opening hand. I saw his turn 1 play, and I decided that my first 2 turns that I figured out when I saw my 7, just how I was going to play this. And guess what? I drew something that was better. I didn't play it. It's just this like MTGO mistake that I make. Because if I had drawn that card physically with my dominant hand to put into my magic hand, I would have physically taken it off the top of my library, looked at it directly, and realized, oh hey, yeah, that's pretty good. I should probably play that. Give myself a chance for Metalcraft. 2 attacking Metalcraft creatures on turn 3. Give myself a chance to achieve that against the guy who's going to be cracking an expedition map on his second turn. So, that's the beauty of MTGO. If anyone is considering getting into MTGO, this is the beauty of it. You can go back, you can rewatch your games, and you can find mistakes in your game, like categorical mistakes, like straight up leaks, things that you do wrong that you could improve on. A lot of players have these, and this is mine. And it's a Magic Online one, actually, so the irony of my pitch there, it's not lost on me. This is a sweet one. We just get Metalcraft. And turn 4 Maul Drifter is not enough. Which is why my keeping of this hand is fairly egregious, because it has no real pressure. It's quite nice against a deck like Mono Black Control. This hand would be nuts against them, because I could replace my creatures, you know? This hand would be good against Boros Monarch. This hand would be good against other decks, not against Tron. Like, I basically killed Krilla on turn 4 last game. I said on turn 4 you have to fog the rest of the game to stay alive. And on this, I dealt 2 damage on turn 3, so didn't come out of the gate swinging. Oh, here's a spot. Here's a spot. Here's a spot. Oh, here's a big spot. Yeah. So let's talk about this spot. So, I play badly. Krilla, I'm sure you love to see me just play terribly and just have it. That's always fun to see. So, apologies to Krilla. I played terribly this game and still won somehow. On this turn, what I should have done is played Snow-Covered Mountain. Right? Tapped one of my snow-covered plains, played Court Homunculus. Tapped my other snow-covered plains, played Glint Nighthawk. Why did I say Nighthawk? It's not Blackheart. Why am I thinking of Vampire Nighthawk? I don't know. Glint Hawk, right? Leaving myself a snow-covered mountain to work with, bouncing that Arkham's Astrolabe back to my hand. Leaving up Red Elemental Blast. forcing Krilla to have more than just Maldrifter, to commit more of his colored sources to things other than Maldrifter at no real expense, because, of course, Skyfisher isn't really different than a Glinthawk in this matchup. So I kept a hand I shouldn't have kept, and then I compounded my mistakes by this is just yeah. Anyway, I covered it. We get punished. The punishment should be real here. Is something wrong, MTGO? What's up? What's up? I mean, something's not. Okay, well, that's a corrupted replay. That's cool. It's a good thing I pitched MTGO already, right? Well, yeah, I already knew that's not lost on me. Krilla didn't have much. I replayed my Astrolabe. I played my Mountain. I played Glinthawk, getting value. I Chain Lightninged the Maldrifter out of the way. I swung for 6. He went for a Rain of Revelation, and I red blasted it. And then I swung again, and then he revealed that he had 5 lands or whatever in his hand, 5 or 6 lands in his hand at the end of the game. So he got pretty thoroughly hosed. I had the clutch REB, and that's my best recollection of this game. This is so frustrating that replay is corrupted. Tremendous. Okay, moving on. Round 4. Is against Dissonance. We know we're against Stompy. This hand's fine against Stompy. We're not going to get cute. We're just going to kill that thing. This is sort of what the Stompy matchup comes down to, right? Is in game 1, game 2, and 3 to a lesser extent. The sideboard cards you have available truly do matter, as you will see. But in game 1, especially, Ardent Recruit with Metalcraft is a house, right? Especially with untapped red mana. Just a house in this matchup. They're an army of 2/2s. You just have to have a 3/3. Like, welcome to Limited. Straight up, that's like what happens in these games. It's like, oh yeah, welcome to, like, oh, my creature's bigger than your creatures. You know, it's pretty simple, this matchup analysis. That clogs up the ground, and then in the air we have value birds, and they have fewer. So the most impactful card is either Rancor or Pit Skulk. Elfin-Kite's pretty annoying game 1, less annoying in subsequent games, but I don't know. The zombie matchup's definitely fine, which is another reason to play Boros Metalcraft. It does fine against Tron. It does well against Jeskai for the most part, and we're gonna have double bolt here for killing whatever this is. Rancor is recast on, and Divines with 2 cards in hand. He should not have double Vines, and he does not have double Vines. And we suddenly have this game exactly where we want it. But make this mistake right here. Look at this. Boom, I don't even realize it. I don't even realize I did it because I'm trying to send that into the red zone. Well, I will, here in a second, realize I should not attack with a 1-1 into a 2-2. Again, welcome to Limited. I failed to recognize that I needed to wait a turn on playing this Glinthawk because he can attack back now with a card in hand. Because it could be a pump. So, I don't know. I probably also should have just blocked here, but I thought I wanted the flyer, right? But he draws one of the only cards that kind of matters. Shouldn't matter because I have 3/3s, but spoilers, it matters. I couldn't draw my card in response there before anyone's like, why didn't you draw? Why didn't you crack your clue? Because Metalcraft. Once I had actual proper Metalcraft, I could crack the clue. And then the 1, 2, 3 subsequent turns of Pitskulk, aided by a small mistake of my own, plus Hunger of the Hell Pack, plus Elephant Guide is too much for me. Too much. I played this game okay. I made that one mistake, but, that was an oops, for sure. Could have just chilled on Glinthawk, or I could have blocked with Glinthawk. Either would have been fine. Like, if I had intended to make that mistake, then I should have blocked with Glinthawk, because I would have already acknowledged the acceptance of that trade. But when I played the Glinthawk, I'm looking to attack in the air. I'm looking like, oh, the ground's clogged up. I need to win this game in the air. I need a flyer. So, because that was a play, I should have just waited a turn to play the Glinthawk and probably bounced my clue. No. I can just not bounce my clue. I can just replay my artifact land, bounce an artifact land, replay it. Keep my clue, have Metalcraft, clog up the ground, and then have a flyer. That's probably the way to go about that line. But none of these things matter, right? Because Pitskulk plus Hunger plus Elephant Guide is always just like a game. So, yeah. No reason to delve further into small choices. That's a mulligan, because I don't want to keep one liner. It's greedy. This is a tremendously powerful 6, even without access to Arkham's Astrolabe. Snow-covered plains being the most potent draw in our deck. There's a lot of them in there. Dissonance is a greedy man. And it is his turn for punishment. Even though we sort of had everything we would have needed. Prismatic Strands is phenomenal in this matchup. And so is Journey. Journey takes away those problems that are, you can't really deal with. We just have everything. We have everything. Journey takes care of the hunger creature, takes care of Elephant Guide quite nicely. This is a mulligan to 5. Followed by also having a 2/2 creature. Block, we're down with this trade. Down with all these trades so far. And he plays out his hand. And here it is. The Pauper Player Podcast, Episode 9, Play of the Day. You're going to hear me talk about that with my interview with Condescend, who took first in this tournament. That's my play of the day right there. I have 20 life to work with. I don't need this core sky fisher. I need the value from it. The value from it plus the body is what's going to win me this game. Core sky fisher is just going to keep this board state the same. But he doesn't even have that much maneuverability. If he can't send this thing ever, I'll block it. So it means if he sends this, he may as well send this, which is an easy block. So he can get in for 5 comfortably, unless he recognizes that I could have prismatic strands, in which case he's just going to get in for 1, right? So if he's a cognizant stoppy player, although, I don't know. The good stoppy players will have to reach out and tell me what they think about this live by dissonance, whether or not they would be playing around prismatic strands. Because I feel like with Rancor, Rancor is kind of equal to prismatic strands, like, because he doesn't know I have a flyer. Because, like, no, surely no one would just not play their flyer if they drew one. Only a madman. So I don't know. I think he could put it over here or on the Riverboa, allowing the Riverboa to start getting in. If he drew another threat, that would start mattering. I don't know. I think this non-attack here turns out to be questionable, but he does respect prismatic strands. In the end, after thinking about it for a while, gets in for 1. Has another Riverboa. But boom, we found the most commonly played card in our deck, a snow-covered land. We got the value we needed. And look, he doesn't have very good attacks. He can start getting in for 4. And we wind up trading a Bolt for Vine's Vastwood. The regeneration does remove it from combat. Negates that trick. We draw another good blocker here to get more value from. And an even better draw in its own way. And we decided we can take this to the skies. And I'm just planning on racing in the sky. Having access to so many good draws. I decided to put him on a 3-turn clock. He forces the Korean Ranger situation here, as he should. Puts me down to 5. And I draw the clincher. So here's the reason I played my line the way I did. I think I can play this aggressively because I have so many good draws in the deck. And I can always just start blocking. I can start putting these boys on defense. So the 6 last turn, maybe it's greedy, but I figured I could put him on a 3-turn clock. I have a ton of removal in my deck. My sideboard cards are tremendous. I have 9 of them. I brought in 3 Prismatic Strands, 3 Lone Missionaries, and 3 Journey to Nowheres. I took out some Bone Splitters, both of the Pentad Prisms, and 4 Throbbing Inspectors. I think I could, might have cut Chain Lightning and kept in 2 Bone Splitters. That I don't remember. But Throbbing Inspector is not particularly exciting in this matchup. So I believe I took him out. And definitely took out both Pentad Prisms. So that's 6 of the 9. The rest are Bone Splitters and Chain Lightnings, and sum them out. That's how I sideboarded. All those cards are tremendous. Prismatic Strands just can swing the game, can win the game on its own, which is rare to do in Pauper. Just have one card win the game on its own. But in this matchup, it really does it. Lone Missionary here changed the race in a way that he can't do anything about. And he concedes. So I did play aggressively. I could have, if I drew a brick there, left back 2 blockers, and finally traded, blocked, and then started getting in for 4. So It's really just if he draws another Vines at that point, or a Hunger of a Howlpack, because he has this guy. Alpha Guide, if he still has him in the deck, would be quite nice for him as well. But he's top decking is the point of this, right? And so is I. And I did play it a little greedily. Some tighter players would have left back the second block from the get-go, but it worked out. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of good draws compared to his very few good draws. I feel like I can switch gears after that first attack of 6. I feel like I can also just draw Burn. And that works too. So, I guess I covered that in the good draws. At any rate, that's the end of part 2. I have no more analysis to give. Didn't play these games the best, but that's the beauty of the MTGO replayer, when it works properly.